amateurs, these. These were real pros. It was well planned. And the haul was bigger than we expected. Little Corey cleaned out the box. Jersey collected the loose stuff. And Phil waited outside the car. I was the Iceman. If any parties decided to act like heroes, I was there to lay the iron on them. It only took a few minutes. Nice and clean. Clean as a whistle. Then the fuzz busted in. Jersey and little Corey started blasting. The fuzz blasted back. Jersey turned yellow. Little Corey caught one and the fight went out of him. The fuzz moved in and began rousting him. In the excitement, one man escaped. Me. It isn't hard to get lost in the city, especially if you know the spots to lose yourself. When you're a policeman working undercover, you move from one assignment to another. And like a chameleon, you change colors with every background. Every city has its underworld, its hoodlums. You'll find them in honky-tonks, dives, and swank uptown clubs. This time, my only lead was a bartender in one of those clubs. I had to convince him that I was a wrong guy, so that he'd get me to the right people.
You want to roll first this time?
Okay.
Man, you've got those dice trained.
5 6s beat him.
How am I going to beat 5 6s? You say you're new in town?
Yeah, just passing through.
4 trays. This is your day.
Every day's my day.
Would you be interested in some real action?
Like what?
I could steer you into a game.
Why not?
I get 10% of the take.
You got yourself a deal.
It'll take me a little time to make the contacts.
Who's the Mink?
She's been in here a few times. Usually comes in with a guy.
If I ever get you 10, she walks out of here with me.
With your luck, I don't doubt it.
Hello? Oh, yes. Just a minute. It's for you.
For me?
Charlie, the bartender at the Barclay Club.
How does he know this number?
Oh, Charlie and I are old friends.
Yeah?
You still interested in that game? Okay. Now, don't forget, I'm in for 10% of the action.
Right. See you.
Everything's just about ready. I hope you're hungry. I made enough spaghetti for a regiment. While I'm serving, why don't you put on some music? Oh, don't bother putting on your coat. Be comfortable.
I've got to blow.
What do you mean?
I'm leaving.
I just fixed a big dinner. It was all your idea.
Now I have another idea. Eat it yourself. It was a cheap trick to pull on a nice kid like Millie. But I knew it would get back to Charlie that I was a heel. And I needed exactly that kind of a reputation to get the action I was looking for. I was doing all right. These guys weren't too happy about it. To walk out of this game a winner, I'd need luck with more than just cards. These boys were rough. The big slob on my right was really steep. He was a gunsel from up north. He didn't make a win all night. Sucker. Queen eye full. Well, I just can't lose for winning. This is the way I look when I'm happy.
All right, Happy. Deal the cards.
Do you mind if I cut?
Be my guest. Anybody else?
Come on, let's play cards.
Suits me fine. If you boys are in a hurry to lose your dough, I'm just the boy to take it.
This guy really hates himself.
You see, this is a game of science. Now, you boys just aren't scientific.
You got a real sweet personality, pal.
I like it, too. Raise you 50. 2 pair.
3 bulls.
Ah. These 2 pair are all kings. 4 of a kind. Well, deal me out.
What do you mean?
I'm bored. Besides, I make it a rule never to push my luck.
Yeah? We got rules, too. You're over 1,200 a head and you ain't walking out.
Take it easy, fellas. Haven't you heard poker's a gentleman's game? So let's all act like gentlemen. There's one gentleman to another. The first guy that walks out that door after me gets his head air conditioned. So long, suckers.
Hi.
Yeah, it was a nice little game. Here's your 50.
You won 1,200. You owe me exactly 120 bucks.
News gets around fast.
Plus the 60 you snatched from Millie's purse.
Now, that was just a loan. There's a 60 and a little something extra for staking.
These parties tell me you pulled a gun on them. They didn't like it.
So
maybe I should be more particular who I steer into a game.
yeah. Next time, be sure and ask for references. You want to make yourself some more dough?
Doing what?
I want to get out of town.
Buy yourself a ticket.
No, I don't like trains, planes, or buses. I like to be driven.
Where?
Over the state line.
How hot are you?
It's worth a couple of hundred to me.
I know a guy. He'll want about 5 bills.
3, that's tops.
We'll see what I can do. Mr. Jackson, it's Charlie. I found a guy. He's hot. He wants to cut out of town. Looks like a swinger to me. Might be just the boy you're looking for. Now listen, here's the lowdown on him.
The model agency I represent has more jobs than we have girls. You'd fit right into our high fashion department.
High fashion. Hey, are you on the level, mister?
I don't mean to be personal, but I've been watching you ever since I came in here. Have you ever considered a modeling career?
Modeling me? Are you kidding?
I couldn't help but notice your walk, your carriage. You just don't see many girls with your kind of poise these days.
Well, gee, thanks. I guess it just comes natural.
Well, if you're interested, I'd be glad to help you in any way I can. I'll give you a call. Maybe we can get together for a drink and talk it over.
Sure. Anytime.
2 coffees. Don't rush.
You the one that's running out of time?
Who are you guys?
What kind of beef are you riding out?
I got caught spiking the punch at a junior prom. Who duped you in?
Charlie the bartender. He says you want to make a split out of town.
It only takes one to drive a car.
Do we look like chauffeurs?
We're here to talk another kind of business. We're gonna dump a joint.
Go ahead and dump it. Why tell me?
We need a fresh face.
We're gonna have a meet tomorrow, 4 o'clock, Grayson Hotel. Just ask for Gaxton.
That you?
Gaxton's the operator. I'm Eddie. This is Arnie.
Boys are pretty stupid to think I'd buy your conversation. Get out.
You hinky about us?
Look, I don't need you guys. I got enough dough to blow this town. Now, we got nothing more to talk about, so beat it.
Why, you cheap punk.
On your way out, tell the waitress I'm ready for my dessert. That is, if it's not too much for you to remember. Get a loose lip, Charlie.
You were looking for a fast buck. I thought I'd do you a favor.
Maybe do yourself one, too, huh? What was your cut if I got suckered in?
Well, business is business. Look, this guy's got a lot going for him. You should have listened to what they had to offer.
Not interested. All I want's a wheel out of town. Now, can you get him or not?
I made the contact. Be around closing time.
Who's the Mink?
Don't you ever stop. Look, she came in here with a guy. He's a bookie around town. He could get rough.
If I ever get you 10, she doesn't go out with him.
I wouldn't bet you on nothing.
saying to the bartender, a girl as pretty as you ought to be in show business.
Now, wait a minute.
No, on the level. I'm a talent scout for the Peerless Theatrical Agency.
Talent scout?
That's right. We're always looking for new faces. Ever do any acting?
No. But now that you mention it, a lot of people have told me I ought to be in show business.
And they're so right. What kind of work do you do now?
I'm a manicurist. A girl's got to eat.
Well, I don't have a card with me, but maybe you could drop around to my office. I'd like my associates to meet you.
I'd be delighted.
Is this guy bugging you, Ruthie?
You should bug me so good. He says I ought to be in show business. He's a talent scout.
Talent scout. Off your seat. Move!
Now, just a minute, Joey. We were having a very interesting conversation.
You see, the lady is interested in a career.
Career? Why, you cheap phony!
Come on, Ruthie. Let's go someplace where we can talk.
I don't know why I go out with uncouth jerks like him.
Well, you live pretty good for a manicurist.
I work steady. Make yourself comfortable. I'll fix you a drink.
Why not?
This was the trap play. When you're on a tightrope, one of the first things you learn is the trap play. I had started out hard to get, waiting for the hoods to set the bait. Now they'd set it. Ruthie had rolled me for my money. The trap was sprung. They thought they had me caught. The next move was mine.
What happened to you last night? Guy with the wheels waited around here an hour.
Well, I won't be needing him for a few days. Who was the mink I was with last night?
Never saw him before. By the way, don't go slapping customers around in here. That guy raised an awful holler after you left.
Never know the favor I did him. She rolled me for my dough.
Yes. Easy come, easy go.
How about steering me into another game?
Sure.
This time I'll need a stake.
I steer him. I don't bang him.
You broke? I'm glad that mink left me my clothes.
Look, as long as you got to stick around here, why don't you talk to those parties I said over to see you? Like I told you, they got a lot going for them.
Where do I find a Grayson Hotel?
At 6, just off Franklin.
See you, Charlie.
Well, if it ain't the smart mouth. I thought you didn't want in.
Boys have no sense of humor. You don't know when you're being ribbed.
Maybe we don't need you now.
I know the way out. Take it easy.
Relax, pal. Sit down.
You Caxton?
Yeah. You want to hear the proposition?
That's why I'm here.
Good. We're dumping a jewelry store.
What's the split?
I get 25% right off the top. You boys split up the rest. Tommy got blasted in our last caper. If he was healthy, you wouldn't be here. He gets a free ride on this one.
What are the drawings?
Customer comes in around closing time. Stalls a little, looks over the cheap stuff, and says he wants to see something better. The higher priced stuff is all back in the vault. They open the vault, we move in.
And I'm the customer.
Like the boys told you, we need a fresh face.
Yeah, and you got a fresh face.
Head's the wheel. Stones are my specialty. So Arnie and I'll handle the inventory. And you're the Iceman.
What's the mark?
Clayton Jewelry Company, 6th Street in Colorado.
When do we dump it?
I'll tell you when.
I'll need some expense money.
Sure.
turns by back.
Come out now, honey. Relax, Arnie. We suckered him in just like we wanted, didn't we? Luther here rolled him for his dough so he couldn't split out of town. Charlie steered him right in our proposition. We needed Pigeon. And he's it.
But how come this punk cuts in the same as the rest of us?
Don't give it another thought. And this caper's over, he wants out of town. All right. He goes out of town. In a wooden box.
Yes, Captain, good. We'll be right in.
What's up?
Captain just got a call from headquarters. They know the mob that's been pulling that string of jewelry store robberies. Wants to see us right away.
We got a rundown on this Gaxton. He's an ex-con with a record a yard long. Beat 2 murder raps in the Midwest.
You want us to bring him in?
Nope. We already know the next job they're going to pull. Clayton Jewelry Company.
We'll put a stakeout on it.
No stakeouts. I want to talk to the lieutenant alone. You'll get further instructions later.
Right.
Sit down. Fredericks, you remember when we broke up that crowd that was knocking off the loan offices?
Yeah?
One man got away. That same man is now working with the Gaxton gang.
We never got a good description of that hood.
That's right. But he's no hood. The man who got away is a police officer assigned to undercover. That's why no stakeouts, no tailing anybody. That officer's still out in that jungle, and we can't do a thing to jeopardize his life more than it is already. He's smart. He has the courage of a lion. But one slip and he's through. Those hoods play for keeps. Now, the undercover man will know where his contacts are planted. Even his contacts will be handpicked by the chief himself. Now, we don't know when Gaxton's going to pull the Clayton job. As soon as we get word, you'll be alerted. When the time comes, there may be a shootout, so get this description and don't forget it. Or you'll be shooting at a police officer. Dark hair, medium complexion, height 6'2", wearing brown hat.
Brown hat,
Gray suit.
gray suit.
Striped tie.
Brown hat, gray suit, striped tie. I hope they remember that description. When you work undercover, you're unknown, even to your fellow officers. I've got so many names, I hardly know my own anymore. So many addresses, I've lost my right to vote. And I've been living like a hood so long, I'm beginning to feel like one. When was Gaxton going to pull the job? I had to get that information to headquarters. But right now, I was keeping a date with a shapely waitress who wanted to be a model.
Now, some girls are out for all they can get from a man. Fur coats and good times and all that. But with me, a man's character is much more important than his money. Oh, it just galls me to see some gals try and take men for their hard-earned dough. No matter how much I needed money, I could never lead a man on. Well, take me right now. My poor mother's sick. She lives from hand to mouth on a farm. I haven't seen her in 2 years. Oh, if I just had that bus fare, I'd take a couple of weeks off. Well, it may not seem like much money to somebody else, but to me, well, now where could I get $120? Who could I turn to for help as bad as I need it?
I want to talk to you.
Can't you see I'm busy, Breeze?
Yeah, well, Gaxton wants to see you.
Tell him I've got a date.
You got a date, but not with her. Now, come on, lover boy. It's time to move.
Well, I've enjoyed our little talk. We'll have to do it again sometime.
Well, where are you going? Who is this guy?
He's a social worker. Say, maybe I can get him to take up a collection for your poor old ma.
Very funny.
The usual case of nerves was building up. I'd seen it before. It happens every time before a heist. It's only in fiction that hoods don't sweat out a caper.
Cut that out, will you? Can't keep my mind on the game. Still got a couple hours here.
My nerves weren't exactly steady either. The game they were playing with me I'd seen before, too. A mob suckers in a pigeon like me, then after the caper, the pigeon is picked up in a dark alley. Dead on arrival.
Lay off that stuff.
I'd seen guys like Arnie. Guys that need liquor or something else before a job. They're the meanest. Arnie would kill the father of 2 kids without thinking twice.
What's the matter, Arnie? Getting jumpy?
Look, I don't want any of your comedy right now.
Take it easy. You wear yourself out.
All right, it's time. Let's go. I said let's go.
It was time for the caper. The pit of my stomach felt like somebody was drilling a tunnel through it.
After you.
It went off smooth. Too smooth to suit me. Those guys from the robbery squad weren't there yet. Gaxton knew his stones all right. He picked only the best stuff. Not too much brains, that Arnie. But he had an eye for values, too. Ed waited outside in the getaway car. I felt sorry for the clerks. One guy was so scared I could hear his knees knocking together. Little did they know they were safer than I was. I knew if I got into that car with these 3 guys, my number was up. I was thinking fast. I'd have to pull something. But the boys from robbery were waiting. Arnie and Gaxton started blasting. The robbery squad blasted back. Arnie was out of action fast when he took one in the shoulder. Gaxton had the killer instinct of a cornered rat, but he was too smart to commit suicide. In the excitement, one man escaped. Me.
Well, we picked up the bartender. That cleans it up. Good. If we hadn't been there in time, that undercover officer of yours would have been in one tough spot. You didn't get word to us a moment too soon.
Yes? Oh, send her in, please. As soon as we got the word from our contact, I passed it on to you. Well, come in, Miss Taylor. Miss Taylor, this is Lieutenant Fredericks.
How do you do, Lieutenant?
Hello, Miss Taylor.
Miss Taylor is attached to the West Side Division. She was loaned to us to work as a contact. When Gaxton sent his hood into the bar with a message, Miss Taylor caught on that the robbery was to be committed tonight.
This undercover officer must be quite a guy.
Oh, he certainly is.
Frankly, Lieutenant, from what Miss Taylor told me about him, I had the feeling she was quite disappointed that he couldn't keep that date.
Oh.
A million faces in the city. Everyone a stranger. But that's the job I've got. Always on the fringe. Never inside, never out. You get lonely. And you get scared. And sometimes you want to quit. But you don't. It isn't a pretty job, but as they told me at headquarters, it's got to be done. Somebody's got to penetrate that underworld. Somebody's got to walk that tightrope.